Welcome to episode 1. We would like to start by wishing you a happy new year. This week on the show, we discuss alcohol being served at the Magic Kingdom, a new annual festival addition to Epcot, dining around property via monorail, and possibly a new nighttime parade. We also visit the Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve for a stroll down Main Street before we hop aboard a Jingle Cruise. Stay tuned!
Broadcasting from the Dreamport.
One Little Spark Podcast.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
All personnel, clear the launch platform. You are go for launch. Roger. 3, 2, 1.
Like a grand and miraculous spaceship.
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
Welcome to the Sim Track.
No privacy at all around this place.
This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
You need a good dose of my laughing place.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Let's go get that dino.
My siestas are getting shorter and shorter.
And when we're making memories, happy days can reappear.
Veggie fruit, fruit, veggie fruit, fruit.
Hello there, my friends. You're about to go under the sea.
Where a million diamonds.
There it is, Wendy. Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Welcome aboard, TTA travelers.
Go! Up to Neverland.
How about some backstage passes?
Come on, Donald. It's showtime.
It's the same way everywhere I found. All the guys that turn me on, turn me down.
I bet I can use imagination to discover all kinds of new things.
Of course. It's your key to unlock the hidden wonders of our world.
We hope you enjoy our story tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whether this is your first time visiting us or your 100th, we welcome you to our family.
Welcome to the show. My name is Rich.
And I'm Courtney.
And we are absolutely happy that we are finally releasing episode 1.
Yeah, this is a new year coming up, and I'm really happy to have our podcast out first thing at the beginning of the year, and what a great way to kick off 2017.
I totally agree. We've been excited to finally put this thing together, and we have so much in store for this next year and further than that.
Yeah, we can't wait to really dive in and dig deep and share everything with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy listening.
With that being said, let's kick it off with the news.
And now, the latest news.
Soon, the morning train station rope drop ceremony at the entrance of Magic Kingdom as we know it will be no more. Beginning next week on January 9th, guests will be allowed to enter the Main Street USA area of the park before the scheduled opening to walk around and enjoy breakfast and even Starbucks at the bakery. Right when the park opens, guests will be welcomed with a new stage performance at the castle in which a royal herald will appear and deliver a proclamation and welcome a few familiar characters to the stage. This will officially open the park, so the magic can begin. What do you think about that and them getting rid of the rope drop?
Well, I've only ever seen the rope drop once, and from what I saw, I really liked it. But I'm excited to see Magic Kingdom introducing some new things to the park, so that should be exciting to see.
Yeah, I know like people call it rope drop at the train station before, and there was no actual rope drop. They just called it that. But now it actually makes more sense because there will literally be ropes around the lands, and I think it's kind of cool. It is kind of crazy and busy there at the entrance, so to get rid of some of the safety issues they might have had with people being so crowded there. Also, it'll help the gates not be so backed up, and then in turn that'll help the monorails and the ferries not be backed up because of all the people waiting at the gate.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely help things run smoother. Next up is Walt Disney World has added a new monorail resort hopping dinner experience. This event begins with appetizers and drinks at the Disney's Contemporary Resort and continues to Disney's Polynesian Village Resort before heading to Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa for the main course. After dinner, you will then return to the Contemporary for dessert and coffee and a private viewing of Wishes. Prices are at $150 a person, including a gratuity. This event is now available on select evenings through March.
I think that this is awesome. Kind of pricey, but we're getting a lot for it, and it seems like a romantic date type of thing. So, it's a perfect, like a whole package, really. And you get to experience all the different restaurants, as well as stuff that you might not have, especially all in one night.
Yeah, I think it's nice. The price isn't too bad. It does include your tip. You seem to get a lot of nice food with it, and then the private viewing of Wishes is probably all worth it. I can't wait to check it out.
I think a deal breaker also would be if the tip wasn't included, because that alone could, be a chunk of what you would actually pay for the total.
Yeah, those can add up, especially if the food is, as pricey as it is. You want to make sure the waiters are getting taken care of and stuff.
Yeah, so next up is our beloved Main Street Electrical Parade that just left the Magic Kingdom recently. Has sadly moved back to its original home at Disneyland. We're sad about that, but those performances will start coming up soon here on January 20th until June 18th, and this will mark 45 years after its debut at Disneyland back in 1972. Rumors are flying here at the Magic Kingdom here in Florida to debut the Paint the Night Parade after hearing of costumes being ordered for cast members here in Florida. Well, hopefully we'll find out soon.
Yeah, I know as a kid, the Electric Light Parade was a have-to. My mom and I always made sure we stayed to see the Electric Light Parade and then the fireworks. It was a staple of our trip. Seeing it replaced with Paint the Night, I'd be excited to see. It's updated, and it's nice to know that Disneyland is getting the Electric Light Parade and it's not just rotting away somewhere.
I totally agree. That's one of my favorite parades that I even remember. I know I've seen a couple, especially like the one, I don't know if you remember it, where a lot of the characters were in the big like see-through glass bubbles.
Yeah, that was their daytime parade, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was the old 3 o'clock parade, like about a decade ago or so. But the thing I remember is feeling bad for the cast members that had to be already in the hot costumes, but then in that hot bubble. I mean, unless they're air conditioned, that had to have been completely miserable for them.
Yeah, I'm sure they had fans and stuff, but I don't think it'd be overly comfortable. New express bus transportation has been added, which picks up guests from inside the parks and uses backstage areas to get to destinations faster. These buses only provide service between the 4 theme parks. Pass holders and cast members can only purchase one-day service. Each park has a bus where guests can be picked up and dropped off. Guests can purchase the upgrade when they purchase a ticket for $15 a person per day or $24 per person for a multi-day use, if not a pass holder or a cast member.
I think that being a pass holder, that even though I'm a pass holder, I think this is definitely worth it. I've been reading online about people basically going from one park to the next in less than 30 minutes, and that's amazing. You can't even get to your car that soon in most cases.
Yeah, I know we were here at Magic Kingdom for the New Year's Eve fireworks, and during the fireworks, there was actually, during the celebration thing they have, you could actually walk through, and you actually got to see where the buses pick you up and drop you off, and it's a big, spacious area that I didn't even know was behind Buzz Lightyear.
Right, and we were basically walking around where the beginning flagpole areas in the Main Street section over there by the theater, and there's a bypass that's normally open at the end of the night to cut through from around by where the restaurant is next to the ice cream shop, and you can cut through the back to exit the park sooner, but there's actually a fence area, the gate that opens for this entrance to get to the bus stop, and that whole backstage area is kind of decorated for the most part. There's even a vendor selling hot cocoa. There's some floats back there from the parade that look like presents from the Move It, Shake It parade, and it's really done up, and it's an amazing cut through to get right to where Buzz Lightyear's ride is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be definitely a good thing for people to use, especially if it's people who don't normally come to Disney. And I don't know if you've ever done the buses before, but getting on those buses are crazy. They pack you in like sardines, and it takes forever to get on and off one. These buses come every 30 minutes, which is good. The locations they pick you up and drop you off on are good locations. At Magic Kingdom, it's by Buzz Lightyear. At Epcot, it's east of Spaceship Earth. at Hollywood Studios, it's over by the Rock and Roller Coaster, and at Animal Kingdom, it's by Kilimanjaro Safari. And each of those icons at those parks are big things. You can't miss them. So I think those are also good locations to have them.
Restaurants around the Magic Kingdom have recently started serving alcohol at various locations around the park. Alcohol hasn't really been sold in the park in the last 45 years, except for at Be Our Guest, and that's only recently in the last 3 years or so.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're in the restaurants though, and not at little kiosks like at Epcot, because Epcot tends to turn into a frat party sometimes, whereas Magic Kingdom, you have a lot more little kids than you have at Epcot, and I'm glad that they're keeping it inside the restaurants, not out where, it's easily accessible.
Right. I know a lot of people online are going back and forth about how they don't think it belongs in the park. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't really see people straight up getting trashed like they go drinking around the world at Epcot. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't think so. If people really wanted to bring alcohol in, or if they really want to get drunk, they'd bring alcohol in. So.
New Magic Band 2 has officially been released and is in a variety of colors and designs, and is now available around the resort, and new pass holders and resort guests are receiving them.
I think it's cool. I mean, we read about them. We've seen them from D23. There's only a handful of Magic Band the 2 designs out yet, but I've come to like the idea of them. I'm probably going to hang on to the ones I have now until either I get one for free or I see one I really like. But I mean, what do you think of them overall? I know that taking out the pucks is kind of inconvenient, but then again, if we don't have to do it for a year or two, then that's not that bad. But what do you think overall?
I think it's good. I kind of agree with you. Taking out the pucks with a screwdriver is going to be a pain. It's going to be interesting to see people try to explain to security what's in their bag with a screwdriver for their Magic Band.
Right, and I read that they come in the packages, but it's still kind of inconvenient. But overall, I love the technology. I love the convenience of them. I don't want to have to keep getting out my pass. And thank God we've gone away from the old paper passes from back in the day as well. So up next is Star Wars. The Star Tours has recently added scenes from Rogue One, and we are expected to get additional scenes as the films are being released, and that's expected. But I love Star Tours. I love how different it is. You never really see the same ride twice, and there's basically 3 sections from what I remember that all 3 change every time. So to get the same combo, it's real slim to none. But have you seen all of the new scenes or any of them at all?
I haven't. I actually haven't been to Hollywood Studios in a while. There's just not, unfortunately, because of Star Wars Land and Toy Story Land being built, there's not much to do over there. But I have seen the Force Awakens ones, those new ones that have been out for a while. But I have not had a chance to get over there to see Rogue One.
I haven't seen the new scenes in the ride, but like you're saying, there's not much of a reason to even go there unless we were there for Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, and other than that, the Star Wars fireworks they were awesome, but it wouldn't be a thing I go there just to see it. I know with Carrie Fisher passing away, I know a lot of fans are probably hitting that area up for sure, but I love Tower of Terror, love Rock and Roller Coaster, but still kind of not worth going out of the way just to go there. So I haven't seen him at all. So, but hopefully sometime soon. What do we have next?
Next up is the interactive hitchhiking ghost scene has finally returned to the Haunted Mansion. This feature uses Magic Band technology to display guest names and hometown in the scene where you see ghosts and a mirror riding along with you.
I think that's awesome. I've seen this before a couple months ago when it first came out, and I knew that they're adding it, but I didn't get to see it. So whenever I first did, I thought it was great. It's definitely a nice addition to the ride. And this is the type of stuff they should be doing to the parks. If you're not going to fully revamp it, which they don't need to do for a lot of rides, it's really nice and a great surprise to see this type of stuff added in.
Yeah, I got to see it for the first time last week, and I like it way better than the ghost just coming out and playing with your faces. It's definitely a way to kind of interact with you and get you into the ride.
It's definitely night and day from, less than a decade ago when we had just the actual mannequins or something behind the glass, and it was just a solid ghost sitting there with you. I mean, that gag was really cool. As a kid, it was kind of funny, but they really came a long way. They have the ones where they swap your head, or they blow up your head like a balloon, or make it disappear and all that. It's pretty fun to see, and I love this technology. I mean, the ride senses you're there without you having to scan anything, and it does this for you. It's really cool. So the next one is Epcot will be adding another annual festival starting this year to showcase Broadway, culinary treats, and Disney artists. This festival will run for 6 weeks starting January 13th until February 20th, and it only takes place on Fridays through Mondays each week of the event. So what do you think about that and the addition of another festival for the year?
I am very excited. My mom and I, at the end of this month, are staying on Disney property. It's our annual trip, and it's right during the festival, and I know both of us are extremely excited. They have already released the Broadway lineup. I know they're I don't know the names off the top of my head, but they're performing different songs. Like the week we're there, they're doing Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and The Little Mermaid, and they have artists who come out and perform their own versions of songs from those movies. And I'm super excited to see that, as well as the new food that they're going to be bringing, as well as the art.
I know, I looked at the names. I didn't personally recognize any, but I'm pretty sure they're from the actual Broadway shows, you think?
I'm not 100% sure on that one. I do know they are from certain Broadway shows, but I don't think they're from the specific ones for those movies.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. I did see the pictures of the food. They look artistic in their own right, and I think it's cool. I'm definitely excited to check it out. It's coming up here in the next 2 weeks, so that'll be awesome. That's it for the news. Let's check out the weather.
Your 7-day forecast.
Keeping you informed.
This week in all 4 parks, you can expect high crowd volumes as this is still a busy time of year and coming off the tail end of the holiday season. Later in the week and into next weekend, the resort will be hosting the Walt Disney World Marathon, so beware of extra traffic and guests around the resort on top of the higher crowds. Now moving on to weather. Starting off this week, on Monday you're looking at a high of 82 and low of 63 degrees, with an 80% chance of rain showers in the morning and numerous thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Tuesday we will see a partly cloudy and sunshine skies, with temperatures reaching 81 high and 64 low. By the middle of the week on Wednesday, partly cloudy skies again, with the temperature slightly dropping to a 79 degree high and 61 low, and again partly cloudy. Later in the week, by Thursday and Friday, the temperature continues to dip to a 75 high, 56 low, with partly cloudy skies and winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And by the weekend, we'll see afternoon thunderstorms with a high of 78 and low of around 59. Overall, a cloudy week with some scattered thunderstorms mixed in, which doesn't look too bad overall, as this usually cools down an otherwise warm winter we're having. But other than that, this has been your 7-day forecast. Thanks for listening.
It's time for this week's Hidden Mickey. In the Jungle Cruise, when you go into the temple, to the right side where the spiders are, the second spider in, there's a hidden Mickey right on his back.
I am now a useless fact.
While visiting other theme parks, Walt Disney would follow around guests and find out how long it took them before they would drop the trash that was currently in their hand. That's why today, in any Disney park, you will never see a trash can more than 30 feet apart.
We're here today at the Magic Kingdom, about to take a stroll through Main Street, USA on this New Year's Eve. And you can hear the music. It's definitely not the normal music that you hear. It's Michael Jackson. They have a bunch of other songs DJ'd from the stage up there by the castle. Now we're going to be taking a stroll down Main Street, USA. Main Street, USA is the first land that you enter. Now, Walt Disney himself said that Main Street, USA is America at the turn of the century, crossroads of an era. The gas lamps, the electric lamps, and the horse-drawn cars and auto cars. Main Street is everyone's hometown, the heartline of America. And you definitely get that feel when you come here and walk down Main Street. So we just passed through baggage check a second ago and security checkpoint. And we're basically looking here right ahead of us at the train station. Every time I see it, I know I get excited.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest things when you come into Magic Kingdom. It just kind of hits you, and especially if you come in the morning when they do their rope drop and they have Casey Jr. pull in, and the steam trains are right there, and Disney definitely does a good job of immersing you into another land, that's for sure.
Right, and what's nice is if you come here on the ferry, you can actually see it from across the man-made lagoon, the Seven Seas Lagoon, and you see it off in the distance, but then as you get closer, the forced perspective changes, so you just see the train station and the castle kind of disappears out of sight. But whenever you're here, and like Courtney mentioned, the rope drop is what they call it at the moment. They're about to get rid of that, as we mentioned in the news. But the ceremony that they have now, the train pulls up, a bunch of characters get off, they welcome you, they do a dance number, and it's really exciting. It kind of pumps you up for the day.
Yeah, definitely. It gets you in the mood for Disney for sure, and it just kind of transports you to another place. Right now we're walking towards a tunnel, and if you stop to read the plaque right above the tunnel, the plaque reads, "Here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy." And that's definitely a fitting way to start your entry to the Magic Kingdom. It definitely describes the things that are going on inside the park, and it definitely, like I said earlier, it transports you.
Yeah, I totally agree. So you go to work, you have a bad day, and then you come here, and it's basically like once you pass through the tunnel here where the plaque is located, it kind of lets you escape from that. So it's pretty nice. A nice way to actually enter the park. So at the time of the recording, they're decorated for Christmas, and I must say, Disney's pretty amazing at decorating for any holiday. But we're right here at the entrance of Main Street and below the train station as we walk through the tunnel right now on the left-hand side. And as we walk through the tunnel, you notice right past here, there's red colored floor. And the reason for the walkway in the Magic Kingdom, the reason why it's red is because Walt Disney himself wanted every guest to feel like a celebrity when they arrived. So he basically laid out a proverbial red carpet for them. The tunnels have framed posters of the attractions in the park, and these posters are made to look like movie posters.
Yeah, it's just one other way that Disney puts you in, to one other area. You can smell the popcorn as you come in, and it all just kind of hits you right in the face. As you walk through the tunnel, you're hit with, like I said, the smell of popcorn. Something else Disney is great at is immersing guests with sight, smell, as well as sights and sounds, smells as well. You'll pass you smell the popcorn, and it just immerses you kind of like you're in a movie. The smells are also used in other attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean, Soarin', Journey to the Imagination as well, and some of the other shops that are around Main Street.
Yeah, I think that they're amazing at basically putting you right in the feel of whatever you're doing. Like, so Spaceship Earth, they have a scene where Rome is burning, so you smell the smell of burning wood. And it down here on Main Street, they have a bakery and an ice cream shop, and they pump out this chocolate potpourri smell, from what I believe, and it smells just like baked goods, and it instantly makes you want some, and it puts you in the mood of like a happiness. It's a happy memory every time you smell that. But so we just went through the tunnel here, and we're looking here on the left-hand side, and we see the City Hall. Now, it's not really a City Hall, obviously, it's just a theme park, but what they use it for is guest services. You can do different things like get buttons and things like that, and take care of any lost and found issues. So that's what that's used for. Now, the area that we're also standing in is like what they call a town square. It's complete with a flagpole, a theater, shops, restaurants, and more stuff like that. Starting where we are near the entrance of Main Street, and next to the the City Hall, there's also a fire station. Now, it's a little different from the one in Disneyland, because in our Magic Kingdom, we have almost like it's basically an interactive card game called Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. Have you ever played this game? I know we got some cards before, but have you ever played it?
Yeah, no, I actually haven't started playing, but like you mentioned, every time I come to the park, I do make a point to get cards. That way, when I do start playing, I will have a variety of cards to start with.
I did the same thing. I have like 5 or 6 decks just sitting in my room, and I have them all ready to go. I haven't really had time, but we'll probably cover it in one of the shows, just come here specifically to play the game. I have done a little bit like a year ago just to like see how it works, but I kind of stopped because I wanted to give it more time to actually give a proper playthrough instead of just doing 1 or 2 sections of the game at once and then just giving up on it. Now, next to the City Hall, there's some bathrooms, but what's over there next to the bathrooms?
Next to the bathrooms, there's a barber shop that you could actually go in and get your hair cut at. Also, they have near the restrooms there's a bench where they have it there just for right now because at Christmas time they have the tree where it normally goes, but you have Roy and Minnie sitting there.
They're sitting here on the bench. It's normally where the Christmas tree is located right now. Now, trying to think about Roy. What was it about Roy?
Oh, he was a major figure with Disneyland, as well as Walt Disney World project back in the late 60s, upon Walt's death into the early 70s when the park opened. Roy was kind of more of a financial genius that helped bring Walt's vision to life when Walt was a dreamer. Walt said, I only hope that we don't lose sight of one thing, and that it all started with a mouse. And that's actually one of my favorite quotes that Walt Disney said. It just kind of brings you back to the roots of Walt Disney.
Right, and it does kind of bring the perspective back to where everything began from Walt's success. I mean, he had, what's that cartoon that they lost the rights and they finally got it back?
What's that?
They got it back in trade for
Oswald the rabbit.
Right, so that was, that's Walt's creation, but he lost the rights, and Disney actually just recently, in the last 10 years or so, got the rights to Oswald back from, I forget which, it was like a news company that owned the rights. But so anyway, like she mentioned, there is a barbershop in the park, but right next to the barbershop is the car barn where they actually house the trolleys for the morning trolley show. And I'm wondering and hoping that they'll stick around with word of the new opening ceremony stage show that we were talking about. But next to the car barn, like she said, is the functioning barbershop. And you can actually get your mustache trim, your beard trimmed, or your baby's first haircut, and they give you a certificate even. I didn't even know that till recently. But continuing past the barbershop is the entrance to the Emporium. Now, this Emporium is basically a chain of stores that spans the whole left side of Main Street all the way down to Casey's Corner, which is a hot dog restaurant.
Yeah, the Emporium has basically any Disney souvenir that you're looking for, it's in there. As well as like their special merchandise. Like when the Electric Light Parade was going away, they had a lot of their leftover merchandise in the store, as well as the 45th anniversary. Now as you turn the corner to Main Street, you finally get your first glimpse of the castle. The park has a lot of forced perspectives throughout. Seeing the castle for the first time for a lot of people is very magical, and some people dream of coming to Disney their entire lives before finally being able to come. What do you think about the castle? What are your thoughts?
I know that when I very first see the castle, so we just turned the corner, the castle's right here, and right now, even though you hear this random music in the background, which isn't normal, they're having a stage show down there at the end with a DJ, like we said before, but normally you have the music that sets the mood instead of this like dance music. But so you turn the corner, and right now you basically get the whole view of Main Street all the way down, and you see the castle for the first time. And I think it's amazing. Every time I see it, everyone takes a look at it. I try to get a picture every single time I come here and post it, either online or I just keep it in my phone. But what do you think every time you see it, even though you've seen it probably hundreds of times in person?
Well, right now it's kind of different, and I want to touch on it really quick. It's right now I'm just staring straight down Main Street, and it's like 40 degrees outside, so it's freezing. And they have the snow, or their fake snow, falling down Main Street with the castle in the background. It's just breathtaking. Like right now, it just totally transports you to a whole other area, and I actually forget that I'm even in Florida.
Right. I know it looks amazing right now. Everything's still decorated like we mentioned for Christmas, but I know that they actually have done an amazing job getting everything set up to look just like it's snowing. It looks pretty real, actually. I've been in snow, but have you seen real snow, and does this compare to you?
I've never seen snow. I've lived in Florida all my life, so this is as close to snow as I think I've ever gotten.
It feels like it should be snowing. We're freezing out here walking down Main Street, so hopefully maybe we can, whenever we hit up Starbucks or something on the way back. So as we walk down Main Street, though, towards the castle, you basically take in the ambiance, the music, the smells, like how she was mentioning the popcorn. They actually have what's called a smellitizer pumping in scents throughout the park and the rides, and especially right outside the shops. And now we're looking at some photo pass cast members taking pictures of a bunch of families facing the Christmas tree and the castle. There's shop cast members outside greeting people. They're actually dancing as well to the music. Oh, we should
probably dancing to keep warm. It's so cold.
Yeah, they're definitely getting down here on Main Street. But looking at the buildings. So there's snow falling, but looking at the buildings, basically the architecture in itself is a character. Now this city was basically modeled after any town USA, but more specifically where Walt had a portion of his childhood in Marceline, Missouri. So you definitely are brought to the era of early America, early in the 20s and 30s America back in the day, whenever you're looking down Main Street.
Yeah, and the attention to detail is just awesome. Like anywhere from the lights that slowly progress to the electric lights that we have today, and they start with the kerosene lights and then go forward from there. Another detail, as we continue to walk down Main Street, that you can't help but look up to the windows and notice that they have names on them. These play the role of credits, kind of like in the olden days when the movies would start, the credits were first. So if you look at, like I said, the windows that have the names on them, those names are of people who played key roles in getting Walt Disney started.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should take a look at every time you come in. You could see tons of notable names, and some of them kind of have prank type things on there, like Carpenter and things like that.
I just ate soap.
Yeah, the snow fell in our mouth. It's definitely not real soap.
I went to talk and soap went down my throat. Sorry. Anyway, so the next, as you go around Main Street, you can usually see the citizens of Main Street walking around, the mayor, the owner of the Emporium, and very often the barbershop quartet, also known as the Dapper Dans. If you ever get a chance to watch the Dapper Dans perform, definitely take the time to do so. They're also part of the highly respectful retreat ceremony, which takes place daily at 5 p.m. at the flagpole, where actually if you're a veteran, you can ask and they'll let you help retreat the flag, and you get to march down Main Street with some cast members as well as the Dapper Dans.
Right. Every single time I get there to the park or even have time around that time of day, I definitely take time to make sure I check out this ceremony. Now, being a veteran myself, I definitely love and respect the fact that Walt was always so patriotic, and they've definitely kept this tradition alive by honoring a veteran by presenting him with the flag at retreat. So if you ever get a chance to come to the park around 5 p.m., make sure you take the time to go, and it's really, it chokes me up pretty much every time. They fold the flag and present it to the veteran, and all of the cast members that are in the area march with it. They also have security, and the Dapper Dans and the band plays. So it's really it's a really great thing that they do every single day. So we're walking down Main Street here. There's a lot of people in the way, so we're walking by and we're coming up close to Casey's Corner. Casey's Corner, like we were mentioning, the hot dog baseball theme restaurant. It's like a quick service, but right outside of Casey's Corner is the front north side, basically a north facing opening. Excuse me, more soap in the mouth, snow in the mouth, I guess you could say. But on the north side of the building, it faces the castle. There's a piano there. There's a service dog we just passed. That's really cute. Wearing a sweater.
Mickey in mini pajamas.
Look, another one here with a painted hair. There's a sweater. So now, if you ever get a chance as well, because we keep telling you if you ever get a chance to go do this, go do that. But seriously, it's things like this that are really amazing that they put together here. So the piano, there's a piano that's has a mirror on front of it, and there's almost every time I've ever come here, it's the same cast member. Now, this cast member, he's a pianist. His name is Jim. He's been working at this park for 33 years as of this past November. He's I think it's what they call a legacy cast member with the blue name tag.
Yeah, that's when you've been a part of Disney for, 35 years? I think this past November, right?
Yeah, I don't know what actually constitutes needing or requiring anyone to get that, or honoring them by giving them that name tag. But we're right here by his piano. Now, the piano is covered up at the moment, but it does have a mirror on the front of it, so every time any guests pass by, he can interact with them.
So continuing to the left is the Crystal Palace restaurant, which is a character buffet style restaurant that faces the front of the castle. It has all your Winnie the Pooh characters are in there walking around while you dine. Leaving the restaurant, we are walking over to what they call the hub. This area is located right in front of the castle and connects outward in a wheel spoke layout leading into the different lands. The hub is a prime location to watch fireworks shows, parades, and different stage presentations. The hub was redone over the past few years and finally made room for more viewing areas. I feel that this has been a great addition to the park and it fits perfectly. We're near the new area now with soft grass, kind of relaxed and surrounded by gay topiaries and statues of different Disney classic characters. Those include Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Chip and Dale, Dumbo, and some others. This is definitely a piece of art, and they're definitely pretty things to look at.
I know I was excited coming over here and seeing all the construction, but I kind of read some plans whenever they were first redesigning the hub area, and now seeing it after it's finished, it's amazing. I even came here just to do photography one day and had a bunch of pictures of just these like these brass statues, these and the topiaries that are around the same area.
If you ever get fast passes for Wishes or any of the other nighttime stuff, that's actually where the fast pass is located. It's inside the different areas of the hub that gives you prime viewing for all that stuff, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're right here in front of the castle. We're kind of staying a little bit further back because New Year's fireworks are starting here very shortly, a couple hours, but you know, a couple hours from now is nothing for what these people have been waiting for, this amazing show tonight. So we're looking up the castle though from where we're at, and we see the new turrets that they added whenever they redid the hub last year, and they're basically on the sides, and they're in the same kind of theme as the Cinderella's castle that Cinderella's castle's in. So the castle itself is 189 feet, which in height for the FAA's requirements to not require the red beacon on top is 1 foot less than that requirement. So they strategically put the height of the castle 1 foot less than what they needed to. Is kind of smart on their part. But the castle, if you're looking at it, doesn't appear to be that short because of the forced perspective that Courtney was mentioning earlier. And if you look at it real close, you can see the bricks get smaller and smaller as you look up. And you'll notice this is an amazing illusion on their part.
They actually have things on the castle to keep birds and stuff off of it, because if a bird lands on the castle, it would look larger than life and it would look abnormal. The castle houses a few areas where guests are allowed to enter, like the Bippity Boppity Boutique, which is a shop where little girls can go in, get dressed as their favorite princess, and kind of get some spa time, if you will, kind of like adults would to go get a makeover. Kids can do that as their favorite princess. Also, Cinderella has a restaurant called Cinderella's Royal Table, which you can eat a meal with some princesses who join you for photos and meet and greets as well. The castle houses a hotel suite only available by random selection of special guests. You can't pay for it or anything, and I think you can sometimes win it, but you can't actually say, hey, I want to stay here. There's only a little bit of info on what you can find.
Yeah, I know. I've only barely read anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it either, but from only you can win it, and I've seen pictures online of what it's supposed to look like artwork and stuff, but I haven't actually heard of anybody who's actually stayed there.
Imagine just staying in the actual park. I know staying on property in a resort is amazing enough, but
yeah, one of my dreams, I always say, is to stay in the Contemporary where the faces out towards the castle, let alone staying in the castle would be just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. We're walking up next to the castle, and there's actually a college band, a marching band playing. They're marching around the hub down from Adventureland in that area down around by the castle towards Main Street.
Yeah, when I was in school, I was in marching band, and I know my band got to march here one time, and it was an amazing experience. It was so much fun.
Oh God, I can't imagine how much fun that would have been. Let's walk over here and take a listen. These kids are probably so excited to be here. I mean, I can imagine how you must have felt back then too.
Yeah, it was so surreal. Being a major Disney fan, then being able to play my trumpet in March was just an unreal feeling. standing here watching and I still get goosebumps and thinking back of the days when I was in high school playing in marching band, and those were some of the best times of my life for a marching band.
That's really cool that they have these. I've actually seen them all year round. Like, you'll come here and you'll see the cheerleaders. When they have their competition, they'll be all over the park. You'll see all sorts of bands. I think a couple weeks ago when we were here, there was band people everywhere.
Yeah, they had bands and cheerleaders. They had everything. This time of year, they definitely bring out the different high schools to come perform and stuff.
Walking through the hall here under the castle, it's basically a pass-through to go from underneath the castle from the hub area down to, over to Fantasyland. But on the sides, you'll notice an enormous mural that's made out of mosaic tiles and glass on your left-hand side. This is an amazing 300,000 tile and glass mosaic that was created back when the park was built. But in this is actual real pieces of gold that's included, as well as on top of the castle they have some on the spires, which I didn't know that until recently. But in the mosaic, you'll have like the stepsisters and who else?
You have the stepsisters, the stepmother, and then Cinderella and her as a peasant, and other characters from the movie.
I know what's kind of cool and a huge attention to detail is they have one of the stepsisters has red eyes for anger and one of them has green for envy. It's just that amount of detail. I forget the artist's name who actually created this mural, but basically it's that amount of detail that Disney always puts in whenever they're building these types of things.
Yeah, that just goes back to show you that Disney never does anything half. Man, they go all in. Walking back down around the corner, the castle towards down one of the sides, there is a wishing well that is somewhat secluded. This spot is notorious for where proposals have taken place, as well as right in front of the castle itself. This always has a great to actually witness and to get to see. And I know as a girl, this is my dream, is to get proposed to here at Disney, especially when it's a place that I love. And actually, it looks like we're coming up on somebody right now getting ready to do a proposal. Maybe we can see if we can get an interview with them. Let's walk over there.
Guys, see, they have like posters that say like, "Will you marry me?" on it. Let's see if they'll get one. Let's pause it here so we can ask them for permission first. So give us a second and we'll go ask them.
So, are you guys pass holders, or did you come here just for the proposal?
We've had it planned for a while. Come here just for New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah, Disney's my favorite place, so.
Are you guys like from Florida, or are you out of
Virginia? Blacksburg. Yeah.
So, how far in advance did you plan this out?
It's been a couple months, probably about 4 months.
And you had no idea?
No, not at all.
That's awesome. How did you feel just now whenever he got down?
Really happy. I wanted to cry.
It's amazing.
Well, that's all I have. That's really cool. I hope wish you guys the best of luck, and that's awesome.
Yeah, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's to you too.
That's awesome. Just another marriage proposal in Magic Kingdom. What do you think about that?
It's exciting. I'm really happy. I hope, good things for them. It's something like I've always said I wanted since I was a girl, so it's definitely a dream for girls to get proposed to right here in front of the castle. It's pretty cool.
It was awesome. It actually happened like less than 10 feet away. I looked up and everyone's cheering and everything. Their families all around and taking pictures and selfies and calling and FaceTiming.
Yeah, they're definitely all excited, and I just go to show you that Disney magic never ends.
For sure, and months in advance, and she had no clue. You should see how much they've been smiling nonstop and taking pictures of the ring and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, that's definitely one of my dreams as a girl. And you can actually get married here on Disney property for
how much?
$180,000.
Oh, that's it. That's a little chump change.
Chump change. Anyway, so now we are headed back towards Main Street. There's a restaurant that faces the castle called the Plaza Restaurant. Directly to the right of the Plaza Restaurant, there's an ice cream parlor at the entrance where there is smellitizers, which is where Disney pumps smells, like we were saying earlier with the popcorn, through the park to kind of immerse you into different scenes and stuff.
I know, like with that smellitizer, they have, I think I read it online, it was like chocolate potpourri smell, but I know it's a memorable smell every time I smell it.
Yeah, like I said, the first thing when you come to the park, the popcorn hits you right in the face, and then walking by the ice cream place, bakery, and I'm sure some of it is actual them baking, like the cones and stuff, but a lot of it is the pump through smell.
Yeah, and I know at Disneyland they have them at different locations, but here you can spot them. They almost look like little speaker grates or whatever, in the roofs of some of the overhangs instead of lower down like at Disneyland. So continuing past the ice cream shop, here is the bakery, which is now a Starbucks.
Yeah, and I know Starbucks I could do without. I don't necessarily love Starbucks. I mean, I like Starbucks, but my mom, on the other hand, she is a Starbucks addict. Every time we come to Disney, first thing we do is stop at Starbucks. Whether we're here at Magic Kingdom and we stop on Main Street, or if we're at Animal Kingdom and by the pizza place there's Starbucks. If we're at Epcot, it's over by the Coke area. And then Hollywood Studios is right down Hollywood Boulevard. We always stop at Starbucks, no matter how long the line is.
I know. I mean, I don't mind Starbucks. I like it. It's not like I'm like addicted or anything. I just kind of go there if I want it or in the mood for it. Now, what do you think about how it fits in Disney? I know everyone online was kind of 50-50 or on the fence, like, oh, Starbucks, you're just turning everything that was like original to a corporate, corporate companies just coming into Main Street.
Well, Main Street is to be kind of like a town, and Starbucks has been around for a while, and the sign of Starbucks is on one side the original and one side the new logo, so it kind of gives the original and the new modern feel.
Yeah, I'm looking at it actually. The first time I've ever even noticed it was now that you mentioned it. It is kind of weird to see the old logo. I've only, I think, seen it online. So there's a lot of people here. We're here on New Year's, like we mentioned, and it's insane, the crowd levels right now. It's the busiest week of the year. So we're passing the massive amounts of crowds, and we're coming close to, oh, look at this. This is the line to get into Starbucks. It's wrapping down Main Street, down towards the Crystal Arts store here. That's insane. I've never seen the line so long.
Yeah, I haven't either, and thankfully my mom's not with us because we'd be waiting in it right now.
Okay. There's a couple here wearing full robes of Sorcerer and Mickey. It's pretty cute. So let's actually go in the Crystal Arts store real quick. I know that they have these, look at this castle here. There's a castle made out of crystal. Let's guess this price tag. Look at this price tag.
It's $32,500.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen that ever since I was a little kid, even the same exact one. It feels like it's been here ever since I can remember. What's that?
The Swarovski one's actually my favorite.
All right, let's look at this one here. We just walked in and took a right. This one's $37,500.
I mean, 200 more thousand, and I'm there.
To each their own, I guess. Let's just take a look at some random ones. Here on the right, we have different like Mickey and Minnie ones. That's $9,500. That's it. That's not bad. This Pluto little like 3-inch statue is only $450.
And then you have your little tiny ones. There's a Jessie one for $120. Woody's $145. They have a little Squirt. He's only looks like $90.
But then again, just like Courtney was mentioning with the weddings in the park, there's people that buy this stuff. Obviously, that's why the shop's here. They also have actual tiaras that aren't like from the Bippity Boppity Boutique, but they're crystal tiaras in the several $100s range.
Yeah, they're really nice. I know my mom always keeps saying she wants one.
So let's go back out of this store. Definitely don't want to break anything in there. So we're walking back out here now. Right when you exit this shop here, you take a left, and there's kind of like a little side street almost. They have a caricature set up with little stands as well. I don't even actually, what else is down here? Just different exits to that store, and it looks like an art store as well.
Another entrance to the Crystal shop. There's a China shop, which I'm going to assume they have like dishes and stuff. I know if you go on the Disney Parks app, you can buy Haunted Mansion blueprint plates and stuff. There's a Vera Bradley store also next door, and I know my mom loves her Vera Bradley, so we go in there all the time. And then I think it's just kind of like a little tuck away. I know when you do tours and stuff, they meet over here as well.
Yeah, I see like little, I think in that same store, the China store, they have luggage and stuff like that. But I see right outside here, if I remember correctly, is the starting location for the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, again, I've never played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, so let's see. Just past the cinema here, just past that little nook is the Main Street Cinema. Now, it used to actually play movies of old time, like the old Mickey Mouse and those shorts from way back in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, they still do small clips, but not full episodes.
And I think it was it was just the theater, but let me see, when was that? I'm trying to remember. It was back in like 1998. Yeah, 1998 is when they converted it to just like a store with little clips kind of playing against the back wall. So just past the Main Street Cinema is a confectionery, which is basically a massive candy store. They have, we're looking around here right in the window, there's tons of guests inside there, so I'm kind of probably going to skip through there instead of walking in, but they have sweets and candies and baked goods. I know they have like dipped strawberries.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge sweets person, so I don't tend to go in there. But I do know before a parade, it's nice to go in there and get like Rice Krispie treats or something. And then around the next corner, you have a hat shop where it has every single hat you can get, like whether it be a ball cap or even Mickey ears. I know you can get different Mickey ears at different places around Magic Kingdom, like depending on what area you're in. So like if you're by Pirates, you can get a Pirates hat. If you're by Peter Pan, you can get a Peter Pan hat. Whereas this location has every single hat, and they'll actually personalize the hat for you. They'll put your name on it or put whatever you want on the hat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So right next to the hat shop is Tony's Town Square Restaurant, but it's right there on the left. And as we walk closer, you can look down at the ground and see paw prints on the pavement. But this restaurant basically serves as an amazing location for any of the parades that go by. And if you're ever able to secure a location for reservations.
And then the next to the Tony's you have where you can meet Magic Mickey, who actually talks to you, and you can also meet Tinkerbell.
Yeah, and that's definitely something, again, that you for sure want to make sure you check out, because all the other characters that you meet that are in the costumes, they just kind of interact with you, but they don't say anything. Well, this is totally different. You have Mickey Mouse who's actually interacting and talking to you. It's really cool. Have you ever seen it?
I did once. My mom and I went in there, and we did on our last vacation. We got to meet Mickey, and it was actually really interesting. You can tell he does kind of have set things that he can say, but it's still really magical.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And Tinkerbell's area is in there as well. And both of those usually don't have too long of a wait if you ever wanted to meet them. And if you're interested in meeting any other characters besides Mickey and Tinkerbell, you can meet a couple of the princesses in Fantasyland, and then Minnie, Goofy, who else? Daisy, and...
They have Goofy in there as well, over in the big hat.
Yeah, they're in the circus area for the little kids over in Fantasyland. But yeah, just past the theater. Last but not least is the train station. It's basically a slow-moving train ride around for a grand circle tour of Magic Kingdom. The whole route is basically about 1.5 miles, and you ride one of 4 trains that the park has. But these trains were brought here from Mexico, which is kind of random, but they're refurbished for the usage in the park. You can also take a backstage tour and discover more about the different locomotives that Disney has.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that they came from Mexico to here. I do know they're completely steam-powered, and I use the train for, say, that my first Fast Pass is Space Mountain. I definitely make sure I utilize the train to get over to Fantasyland as quick as possible, because that's right next to Tomorrowland. And then if I have Fast Pass for Splash Mountain, I'll take that directly over to Frontierland to make sure I get there quickly rather than trying to dodge people and sprint over there.
I know it's definitely one of those, like, you get out of the sun, it's a nice relaxing ride, you could take your kids on it, and I know my daughter really enjoys it, but it never has a wait, and you could get around the park without having to walk through all the crowds. But with that being said, we hope you enjoyed our stroll around Main Street today. We're about to head over and ride the Jingle Cruise, which is the Christmas version of the Jungle Cruise, and then we're going to be checking out New Year's fireworks. Okay, we were about to go to Jingle Cruise, and we noticed right by what they call the bypass, which cuts through from Tomorrowland to be an easier route out of the park at night. They have an opening which is never open to the public.
This is actually, I just realized what this is. This is the Express thing. The new news, the Express transportation to and from the parks that you can use, like $15 for one time, then $24 for multiple days. Those are the buses right there.
Yeah, let's go check it out, just see kind of what it is. I know that we covered this in the news on this show earlier, so let's go check it out here. We're walking down. It's like a whole open area. We have like gates, and we haven't even used this service yet, so let's just go check it out and see what it's about. They also keep some of the floats over here, it looks like.
Yeah, you walk up and it looks like one big party is what it is down here. You see blinking lights everywhere. This is definitely, I've actually never been to Magic Kingdom during New Year's before, and this is awesome.
I know we just passed a hot chocolate stand. No one's even there, but the guy's dancing. I mean, you got to take advantage of working here sometimes. Like you can't just let the mundane things get to you. These guys are just dancing and having a good time. They have some of the floats that look like from what, the Move It, Dance It, or what is this, the holiday?
The Move It, Shake It, Dance It party, or whatever they do down Main Street. These are definitely the leftover, or some of the floats they have, and they say Happy New Year 2017, Magic Kingdom on it.
Let's go check it out and see what they have. They have more vendors with the little lights, the blinking lights everywhere. So, look at that, cut through right to Tomorrowland. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, this is definitely the express bus service. You can see where they pick you up down here, and then they take you to the next park.
Even without paying for the service, you just cut right through and go straight to Buzz Lightyear in Carousel Progress.
But I'm not sure if this is a permanent cut through or if it's just for New Year's.
I don't know, but it's pretty amazing. I know it's not themed, but it looks like eventually maybe they'll theme back here just like they did the bypass. Anyway, with that being said, now we're going to go walk over and take a ride on the Jingle Cruise.
Here we go.
Welcome to the world famous Jingle Cruise, everybody. We are world famous for being world famous. My name is Skipper Gabby. I'm going to be your skipper, your tree trimmer, your popcorn stringer, your secret Santa, your... Just words act surprised when it happens, okay? All right, so everybody, please watch your hands. Please keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. Parents, please watch those children. I'm sure they bite. And please remain seated for me. Terrific. We are now entering the Amazon rainforest, where it rains about 365 days out of the year. For those of you keeping count, that is darn well near close every other day. If you guys look to both sides of the boat, you're going to see our beautiful humbugs. They're very seasonal, and if you listen very quietly, you can actually hear them. Bah! Bah! Some bah humbugs. Well, you know what? We're now coming up on Inspiration Falls, and a lot of people ask me why we call it Inspiration Falls. Well, it's very simple. Because it inspires even the craziest person to go out caroling. Jingle Cruise, jingle. Just me. Okay, well, there it is. We are now on the Congo River, folks. It is deep in the heart of Africa. And just by a show of hands, and just mainly out of curiosity, who here has seen The Jungle Book? Terrific. Well, for those of you who haven't, Merry Early Christmas. You are very welcome. We're going to come up now on our Pygmy Beach Party. It's really fun. They like to get really festive, so they throw a big party, get some eggnog, get some ham, get some good times. So let's go make it happen, right? Or not. Well, I can't see anybody. Canoe? That's alright, guys. They might just be doing some last-minute Christmas shopping. It's okay. Oh, actually, don't be scared. It's actually for me. You see, they wrapped up that nice tree and they put a nice little bow on top. They probably went to our gift wrapping department, which is right over here. You're probably wondering why we got some gorillas to do our gift wrapping. Well, as you can see, they're very good at their turnover rate. You're right. We're now on the Nile River, folks. It is the longest river in the world, and boy, does it go on for Niles and Niles and Niles and Niles and Niles. And if you don't believe me, well, you're very rude because I'm your tour guide. If you guys look to both sides of the boat inside the water, you might see, well, nothing. But normally that's where you would see piranhas, but they're probably out celebrating their favorite holiday, Piranha. So they'll be out soon. Over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see the second most feared animal in all of the jungle. And over here is the first fear. It's mother-in-law. It's very known for dropping in without wanting it to, staying for an extended long time during the holidays, giving its opinion. It's really great. So here we are. We have our Jingle Bell Rock. The reason why I pointed out is because a lot of skippers do take it for granted. So, you know, it's one of our bolder attractions for sure, you know. We're up here on the African Veldt, everybody. A lot of animals do come in to bring in that Christmas spirit. No, look, they're having some zebra on the rocks. I'm kidding, guys. guys, you know that zebra's probably just pretending to be asleep to avoid conversation with its extended family. Oh, no, I haven't graduated yet. Okay. All right. Oh, would you look at that? Now, if you pay very close attention, they are demonstrating the very first rule of the jungle. Never give a rhino a fruitcake. All right. My very good friend Ina's up there. Everybody say hi, Ina. Hi, Ina. Perfect. And another thing, if you guys look over to the left-hand side of the boat, again, you're going to see, well, absolutely nothing. But if you look over to the right-hand side, you're going to see our oldest inhabitants. We have old Smiley and his beautiful girlfriend, Ginger. For the holidays, Ginger wrote down on her Christmas list that she wanted a slow cooker, but we thought that was a crock, so we just are going to probably get her some jewelry or something. It's also very impressive that she learned how to write. Here we are. We're now approaching Schweitzer Falls, everybody. It is named after the very popular explorer, Dr. Snow Falls. And another thing very impressive, if you look very closely at it, you'll see it is one of the very few things in this park that is not frozen. Now, our Jungle Navigation Company, they've been offering some really good specials for the holidays, so they've been doing like some half off on planes and flights and things like that. Don't let that opportunity fly by you guys. You know, get it. It's a half a plane. Hello? Okay. Alright. Oh, God, look. We look hot. We have some hungry hippos. I really have to be a lot more specific on my Christmas list. Now, if you see them wiggling their ears, it just means they're trying to stay warm. They don't want to get hypothermia. Alright, guys, we are clear from here, but we are not out of the woods yet. I can tell because of all the trees. We're now headed into Headhunter territory, which is not a place you want to be headed, if you know what I'm saying. Tried to tell this to my last crew right over there. Bunch of boneheads. Oh, but that's okay. Some of my friends are up there. We have Dancer and Prancer and the little drummer boy, and we have 1, 2, 3 drummers drumming. No. Guys, 12! 12 drummers drumming! Contracts and all. You know, that's alright. If you guys look to this side, we're fine. Ah! Carolers! Carolers! Everybody get down! Somebody throw them some figgy pudding! They won't leave until they get some! Quiet! No! I'm kidding. We're okay. And with that being said, I would like to introduce everyone to the amazing, the colossal, the 8th wonder of the world, the backside of water! Yeah, give it up for nature, right, guys? Now, we tried to make it the backside of milk, but we could not find a cookie big enough, so you take what you are given. We're now in the Mekong River, folks. It is in the heart of Cambodia and Southeast Asia. And, oh, did you guys see that? There's a tiger up there. I think it went right into the temple. Probably has been following us. If it's in the temple, you can tell if it's it really easily because it's probably going to have some sandy claws. Alright, guys. Could be treasure. Could be danger. Or, oh, you know what? It's probably Santa's workshop. Alright, guys, so here's a very fun fact. That was not Santa's workshop. Now, I was told that there's going to be a very exclusive Indian elephant bathing pool, but that's a crock right there. Weird. Now, that up there, that is Big Bertha. Normally, we shower her with gifts, but this year we decided to give her the gift of the shower, because she is very, very stinky. You're very welcome, everyone. It was quite pungent. We do have some troublemakers up here that try to splash them. Get down! Get down right now! Sorry, guys, it's this little game we play. He tries to do it. I tell him no. He does it for real, so you guys might want to duck. Duck, 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 guys. I'm kidding. It's an elephant. There is this one, though, that you want to watch out for. Now, a lot of people do think that it's water that comes out of the elephant's trunk, but fun fact, it's not. This is the educational part of my tour, though, where I like to point out some of my favorite plants, so... That one. And that one over there that looks like a speaker. That's a nice one. That one. Actually, that one's one of my favorites. We like to call it Little Drake because, fun fact, when we got it, it was very small, and so now it's bigger. So someone said it kind of started from the bottom. Now it's about here. So, yeah, yes, you get it. Okay. If you guys want to know some of the names of these plants besides Little Drake, we have, well, those up at the top, those are called a hibiscus. The ones over towards the bottom, those are called a lobiscus. And the ones over in the water, well, we call those a seabiscus here in the business. Yes, we do. And if you guys guys look up ahead to your left, you are going to see Trader Samta. Everybody say, hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Yeah, he was our head salesman here in the jungle, but recently his business has been shrinking. It's very unfortunate. So he's been offering some great holiday specials. 2 of his heads for the price of just 1 of yours. Any takers? Nobody. That is surprising. Well, no matter how you slice it or dice it, guys, you do come out ahead in the deal. It's a very cutthroat business, though, I hear, so proceed with caution. He's a super nice guy, though. Very, very nice guy. He had me and my boyfriend over for dinner the other night, and I said, Sam, your wife sure does make a delicious stew. And he said, yeah, I know. I'm really going to miss her, though. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I don't have a boyfriend. That's fine. It's okay. The whole village is actually very proud of Samta. He was the first member of his village to head off to college, but he got kicked out a couple weeks after because he was caught trying to butter up some of the professors. But that's just how you roll sometimes, I guess. Is anybody thinking about catching the fireworks later? Anybody gonna stick around and catch the fireworks? Yeah? Well, don't. They're super hot, right? Probably want to watch them instead from, like, the front of the castle or, like, a designated watching area. Silly. But we are going to be experiencing the scariest part of my tour, and that is the return to civilization. Spooky, right? Yeah, I do not envy you guys. So please remember, as we approach the dock, please keep all hands, arms, elbows, and fingers inside the boat. You don't want to experience any peer pressure. I think we're all past that. Also, we just painted it, so we don't want to, like, scuff up anything. If you guys look up ahead, you're going to see 2 docks. We here in the business, what we call that a paradox. Also, just make sure that you exit out the same door you entered. And please do not cross over any of these crates in the middle. That would not be a great idea. Plus, we like to leave the crossing over for, like, the haunted mansion. It's kind of more their bag, their thing, so. Don't really like to impede on that, you know. And how we're going to do the whole trip backwards. Super kidding. No, we're not. There's wood there. This is actually the perfect time to talk about some of our sponsors. So we have Animal Crackers, teaching kids everywhere that all animals taste the same. Delicious. We have Trader Sam's Cannibal Cafe, where they're always finding new and innovative ways to serve you. And we have Zebra Jerky, home of the every other white meat. I don't know. But enough about me. Where are you guys from? Asheville. Asheville? No way, me too. That's awesome. What about you guys? Where are you from?
Orlando.
Uh-huh.
Orlando.
Orlando? No way, me too. That's awesome. Where are you guys from? Wisconsin. No way, me too. That's amazing. What about you guys?
Wisconsin as well.
Okay, who's not from Wisconsin? Where are you guys from? Where? I'm sorry? No, I heard you, just I'm sorry. So I see that we are celebrating some birthdays up here. These 2 right here. Is anybody else celebrating a birthday? We celebrating? Yay! So happy birthday to everybody celebrating birthdays. So would you guys like to hear my birthday song? Okay, I just need you guys to top me a beat. So, come on, clap. You clap to the beat. Okay. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long, okay? If you want the second verse, hold on. Again. This is the second verse. It's shorter. He's funny. Thank you. So since I've run out of material, I'll just go ahead and tell my own jokes now. So, why can't Cinderella play soccer? Why is she not allowed to play soccer anymore? Exactly, but you can't really blame her. Her coach was a pumpkin, right? Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Why is the giraffe's head so far away from its body? Because the neck. Like, just look at it. It's in the way, so that's why. Silly. Why did Mickey go out into outer space? It was actually to find Pluto. Yeah. Okay, so they're holding a number 2, which must mean again? Again? Alright guys, well you did not laugh loud enough, so thanks for that. So we have to go around again. So welcome to the world famous Jingle Cruise, everybody. Is this anybody's first time here? Oh, terrific. Awesome. Is this not anybody's last time here? Terrific. Awesome. And it actually means we're just going to the second dock, which is double the fun and double the distance from the exit, because anything for your inconvenience, you know. Saturday. We'll try again on Sunday. Happy Sunday. They're delicious. You know, sprinkles and whatever you want on them, really. And oh, I forgot to make some New Year's jokes, but I guess I dropped the ball on that one.
Well, that about wraps things up for this episode. Special thanks to Michael Pitcher for producing our intro and outro music. You can find him at michaelpitcher.bandcamp.com. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. To reach us on social media, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at OLS_podcast, follow us on Instagram at One Little Spark Podcast, email us at onelittlesparkpodcast@gmail.com. For show notes, pictures, and more, check out onelittlesparkpodcast.com. For myself and Courtney, thanks for listening, and just remember, tomorrow is just a dream away.